So you've probably seen somebody online say, I just made a few grand off one sale, and you've thought to yourself, what sort of shite is this man talking? But in reality, it is true, and it's something called high ticket sales. So in this video today, I'm going to break it exactly down as simple as I can. What high ticket sales is, the different roles that are involved in high ticket sales, what it is that you'd actually be selling, and how people are making a living out of it. No fluff, no guru bullshit, just the basics. Explained exactly how I would tell a mate, because you watching this video, you are my mate. That is why you're watching me right now. We're bros. First things first, what exactly is high ticket sales? So high ticket, first of all, just means expensive, usually over $2,000. So instead of selling some bullshit gadget on Amazon for 50 quid, you're going to be helping someone buy a 2, 5, 10, 15, 20k digital product or service. And you're probably wondering, who would pay that sort of money for something? Well, it's very, very simple. People will invest that money because it solves a big problem for them in their lives. Let's say we have a business owner out there who's stuck at 10k a month and doesn't know how to scale ads. He is going to invest the 10k into this program because it's going to scale his business to 100k a month. It's a no-brainer. That is why this market is so massive today. Now, one of the first roles to get you started in this space is called appointment setting. Now, this is one of the lowest barriers of entry to get into the high-ticket sales space. What you're essentially doing is you are sending messages to someone who is interested in the product or service that you sell. So all you have to do is have a conversation with them in the DMs, qualify if they're going to be a good lead, qualify if the product or service that you sell is actually going to help them, then if they're financially qualified, if they can afford it, and then you book them in with the sales closer. You're not selling, you're not having to go on Zoom. All you're simply doing is having a conversation, seeing if they're a good fit and passing them on to someone else. You're basically just a friendly middleman. And the good thing about this is you can make anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000 a month as an appointment setter. You don't need a degree, you don't need a business background. All you need is your phone, a Wi-Fi connection and a bit of work ethic. You see, a lot of online business owners and coaches, they do not have the time to be sending messages. And that's essentially where you come in as an appointment setter. An online business owner might run ads online and say, DM me the word info if you need help scaling your online business with paid ads. If this online business owner has 1 million followers, their inbox is going to be flooded with hundreds upon thousands of messages. Your job is to filter through them, chat to people, and book the serious ones in for a sales call. The better quality of a lead you book, the more money you make for the business, and the more commission you're going to pocket. For every lead that you book in with the sales closer, if they close that deal, you will earn 5 to 10% commission on that sale. So if it's a $2,000 offer, which is a very low price in this space, if one of those leads close, you'll earn anywhere from $100 to $200 per sale closed. Do that a couple of times a day and you're laughing. You know, before appointment setting, I tried all these different online business models, you know, the ones that you always see online. Dropshipping, SMMA, copywriting, but none of them actually clicked for me. I just always ended up more confused and overwhelmed than I did at the start. But it wasn't until I realized that sales is the core of every single business, that's when things started to make sense. Whether you do e-com, coaching, fitness, real estate, someone is selling something. So I figured, why not just learn how to sell? But in this industry, setting is not the end all be all. It is a great way to start. But if you want to earn those big commissions, 10, 20, 30k plus months, you need to become the one who's closing the deals. This essentially is the next step. So the seller passes the lead to you and you're actually the one who's either jumping on a Zoom call with them or jumping on the phone to close the deal. You'll chat to the lead for around 30 to 45 minutes, trying to figure out essentially where they're at, what the actual problem is that they're facing, have they tried anything to solve that problem, and then what do they feel like they actually need in order to solve it. And then you want to help that prospect decide what's going to be the best decision for them. Basically, it's your job to guide the prospect into making a big investment into themselves. And because you're taking on more responsibility, the commissions here are a lot higher. You're usually paid anywhere from 10 to 20% of every deal you close. So if you close a 5k deal, you're making anywhere from 5 to 1 grand off a 45-minute call. For me, appointment setting was the first thing that got me started. It was the first thing that actually worked for me online, and then it gave me the confidence to then move into closing. Because like I said before, setting is not the end all be all. Closing is where it's at. Closing is where I built a proper full-time income online. And yes, the money is great, but the one thing it gave me was freedom. I could travel, work around my own schedule, work when I wanted to, and not have a boss breathing down my neck. That is why I rate this so much. So you're probably wondering, Conor, what sort of things will I be selling? There's a big stigma that the only thing you sell here is online education, courses for big influencers, which is not the case at all. There is a massive corporate niche that you can sell in this space, like insurance sales, software sales, solar sales. Business owners will spend so much money on different things that are either going to make their business safer and more profitable. In corporate sales, it is the only industry where you will get 6 figures a year base pay, meaning if you don't close a deal, you will still make 100k a year base. And then on top of that, every deal you close is around 5 to 10% commission in corporate remote sales. It is one of the most lucrative industries in the world. And then of course you have the e-learning space, which is online education. This industry is absolutely exploding. People will happily spend thousands online to learn business from someone who's actually been successful in business. You see, since COVID happened, a lot of people have turned to online education. If you want to learn a skill or need help in a certain niche, like real estate coaching, fitness coaching, e-commerce coaching, you can go to someone online who's made 7, 8, 9 figures in that niche and get personally coached by them. Not like going to university to learn business from someone who's never even run a business. The e-learning market is set to hit 1.5 trillion by 2030. That's yearly, by the way. And it's a big reason as to why sales is such an important skill to have, because you can pivot into any industry. Now, another really good market you can sell for is online agencies, like marketing agencies, consulting agencies. This is essentially all that done for you stuff that business owners don't want to be dealing with. These agencies charge a very, very high price because they save clients a load of time and hassle. Now, boys, I'm going to keep it completely transparent with you here. There is pros and cons to this. When it comes to high ticket sales, you can do it fully online, completely remote, from anywhere in the world. All you need is Wi-Fi. You do not need to set up your own business. You do not need to buy products or run ads. This is one of the highest paying industries in the entire world whenever you develop the right skill set. You don't have to post on social media. You don't have to show your face, which is really good for us Irish because we hate everybody knowing our business. You will learn proper sales and communication skills that are going to serve you for your entire life, even if you want to start a business in the future. And of course, when you're on these offers, you'll be able to network with very, very successful people. When it comes to the cons, in the e-learning market, a lot of these roles are commission only. So if you don't book any calls or you don't close any deals, you don't get paid. In my opinion, it's a good thing because you're actually paid for your own work ethic. Now, this is a skill at the end of the day. It isn't just something you can walk into. Usually it takes a couple of months of practicing and learning to develop the skill to then go on and jump into a setting and a closing role. There's a stigma around this that you can make 10k a month while taking 3 calls, lying up at the beach, and that is not the case. You will be working, you will be taking calls for 6 to 8 hours a day at the start if you want to scale to 10k a month. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, right, well, what is the best way for me to get started if I'm a beginner? So I'm going to be real with you. When I first started in this industry, I done what most people would do. Went onto YouTube, started taking notes and tried to figure out this whole sales thing on my own. Then I started to reach out heavily to online business owners to try and get a role on their sales team. And after I landed a few interviews, they wanted me to role play certain scenarios on a sales call on these interviews to essentially test my skills. So they asked me, what sort of experience do you have? And I said, well, I've been on YouTube watching videos essentially. And they said, how much have you invested into yourself to learn the skills? And I said, well, nothing. I've just been on YouTube. And they basically told it to me straight. If you want to be a killer in this space as a beginner, you need proper training. How can you expect to be on a call with someone and for them to invest thousands into themselves to learn a skill that's going to change their life if you've never done it yourself? You're not going to have the conviction to actually help people come to that decision if you haven't actually walked the walk yourself. And that hit me, because if you think about an online business owner who constantly posts content and run ads, does he want the guy who's been on YouTube trying to teach himself, or does he want the guy who has invested in himself to get the right training? Because it shows that he's willing to do the same things that he preaches to his prospects on calls. So that's when I decided to stop winging it and actually get the right training. And once I did that, everything changed. My confidence, my skill set, and my network. I was able to practice my sales skills, get constructive criticism on what I was doing right and what I needed to improve on. Was surrounded with a network of actual closers who had skin in the game. And of course, I landed my first role through this agency. So guys, when you're starting out, this will be something to consider. So yeah, that is high ticket sales in a nutshell. Sellers start the chat, closers close the deal. And together they help business owners sell expensive offers. It's huge in coaching, courses, software, insurance, and all sorts. And while it's not always easy, it's one of the best ways I know for someone with no degree, no business, to actually make unbelievable money online. It completely changed my life. I got kicked out of school when I was 16, no degrees, no trade, not a single qualification to my name. And I've been in this game for 2 years and I have cleared hundreds of thousands. That is why I speak so highly of this space. And if you're hungry enough to put in the work, there's absolutely no reason why you can't achieve the same. So guys, I hope this video was of value to you. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments what you would like to see next. And guys, if you're interested in getting started in this space and going down the same path that I took, getting the right coaching, being surrounded with killer closers, getting the opportunity to be placed on offers, I'll have my Instagram link below. Shoot me a message and we can have a chat.